Okay guys, so we're back out on the bank. We've come down to Mineral Lakes by Birmingham. Come here last year for sturgeon, for the species hunt, and we've come back again for one. I think we had two last time. We had one at 15 and a smaller one just before we were leaving. I'm fishing on the other side this time. I was right in the corner over there. The car park is just behind the trees here. So we've come to this side, we've got an island. We've already had a fish off the island. Left hand rod's fishing to the island, right hand rod just a margin here, and we're just trickling bait in. There's loads of fish moving, loads of fish have already been caught. Like I said, we've had a little common, and yeah, let's see how we get on. Just going to keep trickling the bait in. Fish on, guys. Well guys, first fish of the trip. A little colourful common. Whee! Lovely colours in his fins. Yeah, Rod's only been out 5 minutes, getting loads of liners and stuff. Yeah, hopefully that sturgeon is not too far away. That's a cracking start. Well guys, this is what we came for. Sturgeon is on. Well, it's not a small one. Nice. Look at that, guys. What a fish. Get in that net. Well guys, we've only gone and done it. It might be a PB as well, and I have to weigh the sling afterwards, but he's really beating me up on the bank. Not a happy bunny whatsoever. I have to get right back to get him in. As we say, I'll check the sling in a minute, but irrelevant in a way. Be nice if it's a PB, but I just come to tick one off the list. That's exactly what we've done. Look at that, what a fish. It's actually been really slow. It's only my second fish of the trip, but not a bad second fish. We'll take that. Right, let's get him back. He keeps going back to the bank. So today's rig, nothing complicated really, just size 6 barbless hook, bit of shrink tube, kicker, strip back a little bit there for a bit of flexibility, about 7 inches, anti-tangle sleeve, little loop that just hooks onto the lead clip. Yeah, and we're using the trusty Pepper Army as bait and pellet in a PVA bag on the one we put out there, and the one in the margin we're just chucking it in by hand pellets. Well guys, that fish was a PB. It was £16. What I didn't tell you was that I'd cooked a lamb burger, and that's when I had the run. Typical, isn't it? But anyway, I was like trying to sit down. I'd had a quiet spell, like I said, very surprisingly how quiet it was, and then all of a sudden the rods just haven't stopped. We're using quite a big bit of Pepper Army, so we're getting drop runs off the carp, but we just had a double take. 2 more sturgeon, slightly smaller ones. So this was the first one. Still an absolutely amazing fish. The colours on these. And then as that went in the net, I was going to say a smaller one, it's not, it's exactly the same fish. Sturgeon are known for it, I know, because I never showed you this side of it. Is it the same fish? Because of that peck folded over, an old wound. Anyway, we'll get them both back. Let's have a look at the tail actually. Oh no, it is a different fish, because no, it is a different fish, yeah, definitely. There was some damage on the tail. Anyway, this one, absolutely amazing scrap. Alright, let's get them both back. So guys, coming up to 11 o'clock, we just had our 4th sturgeon. I'm pretty sure what's happening now is we're putting out our PVA, the meat with the pellets, either PVA or the edge. The carp are coming in, we get a dropped run, take all the little pellets, and then there's just a single bait there. It's probably just worth chucking out the single bait if you want the sturgeon, because I'm pretty sure that's all I'm end up fishing with anyway. So we just had our 4th one now. Size wise somewhere in the middle of the ones we've had. Whoa. Yeah, the fishery opens at 7:30. It's coming up to 12 o'clock now. I'm actually carrying on down south to go to another venue, and it's due to pour here in a bit, or this afternoon, so you can only fish till 4 anyway. So I think what I'm going to do, and check the weather forecast now, and there's the fish anyway. Check the weather forecast now, and if it is still going to pour, oh, that's the other rod. No, it just picks up by car. If it is still going to pour, I think we'll make a move. We get packed up before it's thingy, because I'm camping in this bivvy tonight, so I don't want to pack it all wet, get in the car and then get it out, set it all up. So yeah, we've had a great session already. So yeah, check the weather, we'll see how we get on. So we finished on 4 sturgeon and a carp. I'd been checking the weather for, and it was going to rain all afternoon. You've got to be off there at 4 o'clock on a Sunday. It is 6 o'clock every other day apart from Monday, which is not open at all. So yeah, so I decided at about sort of 1 o'clock, between 1 and 2 I think it was, started packing up, beat the rain, and I've come to a campsite. So yeah, the bivvy's back up again. We're just going to sleep here, and then we're off to not Newdigate, Finch Farm, and then Newdigate. So we've got to tick off the pumpkin seed fish. There's all sorts in Finch Farm, so we'll see how we get on there. If we don't get a Gold North, we might have to go an hour down the road to get one where I know literally I'll just take a whip and a bucket and I'll get one straight away. And then it's a long drive back up to Coventry, and we're staying over again in another campsite, and then we're going to tick off, hopefully, Blue Wharf. Never had one before. So yeah, that's yeah, just trying to get them all ticked off before the weather goes, really, and then it's back to the sea fishing. But anyway, if you are heading to Mineral Lakes and you're not interested in my species hunt, fair enough. Yeah, it's well worth it. You definitely got a good shot at catching a sturgeon. I caught 2 on my first go. I've caught 4 today. They come out all over the lake. I actually had 3 from the margin spot today. From the island spot, and I only had 1 from the margin. Definitely, with that swim, it definitely paid off. What I would say is just keep it simple. If you want a sturgeon, I'd just put a big bait out. I don't even know if I'd bother putting pellets out, because I think they get mopped up so quickly by the carp, because as soon as you recast, there's activity. The guy next to me was using small baits and he was just catching loads of fish, and at one point I was like, what am I doing wrong? And then I realised he was getting bream and carp. He didn't get a sturgeon. In fact, I hope he did. Like, if he's watching this, I hope he did, mate. I spoke to him and I give him some pepper army. Which never let me down again. So yeah, if you go in there and you want a sturgeon, I'd put on a big bait and just sit it out and don't worry about everyone else catching fish, because like I said, they're probably just picking up their small carp. But yeah, but I to be honest, I'd love to, it's just a bit too far from home, but I'd love to have a go on the pole. I reckon you'd have a right good day. It is full of fish, and there's some right weird things as well. I don't know. Just, yeah, I don't know. I caught a roach bream hybrid that was massive. Anyway, waffling on again here. But yeah, I'll put a link in the description with his phone number. What you got to do is you've got to phone up a couple of days before and ask if there's any availability. He won't let you book in advance. He likes it if he knows you. Yeah, and the gates open at 7:30 till 6 every day, apart from Sunday, which is 4, and Monday not open at all. Everybody gets to the gate about 20 minutes before then, and it's like they all run to the spots. I'll put a little map on now with where I fished, where supposedly the hot spot is, where I fished last time. Yeah, and you can see from the carp, like I said, they all run to the spots. But if you're after your first sturgeon, that is the place to go, I would say. Anyway, I'm going to get my head down now because it's an early start and we're back out. 2 lakes tomorrow and then another lake on Tuesday. Fingers crossed we can really tick these species off and then I can focus on the sea fish. Okay guys, as ever, I hope you're doing really well in your own fishing. Thank you very much for watching. Tight lines. Cheers now. Bye.